To illustrate the thought that we have spoken yesterday, how the miracle of the Hanukkah menorah was that one jug of oil was found rather than 8 jugs of oil, which would also be miraculous. And the idea that we shared was that God is showing us over here the power, the importance of one mitzvah, and not to give up when you only have the opportunity to do one mitzvah. And certainly do not underestimate the power, the infinity of one mitzvah, because after all, a mitzvah is godly. Mitzvah from the word tzav savachibah, connecting with God. The mitzvah is God's desire, God's will, and as the Alter Rebbe explains in the 4th chapter of Tanya, that God's chachma and God's ratzon, God's will, is one with God Himself. So obviously each mitzvah is infinite, thus has the infinite value, infinite power. And therefore the miracle was that one jug of oil lasted for 8 days. So just to illustrate the power of one. A number of years ago, as I was conducting my monthly class with a group of accountants, a luncheon class, and it was just before Hanukkah, shortly before Hanukkah, I came along, I brought along with me these Hanukkah kits to distribute to all the people. And often these people are traveling in December, Hanukkah time, so this is just ideal for them. Throw the kit into their suitcase, and off they go. They have their menorah with the candles, including the dreidel and the blessings, obviously. One particular woman by the name of Arlene tells me, "Rabbi, I don't need a kit. I'm not going anywhere. I have a menorah in the house, plenty of candles. Keep it for somebody who might need it." For some reason I insisted, "Arlene, you never know, take it. Worst comes to worst, give it to somebody else. And for that matter, it's not worst comes to worst. It's a good idea to share the light and give it to another person." Out of respect, she took it. But it was obvious that she's annoyed, that she has to schlep it around now with this kit, and maybe don't know exactly where she's going. Maybe she's uncomfortable even going with a kit so Jewishly labeled. Whatever the reason was. But she took it. The class after Hanukkah, before I started giving my shiur, Arlene says, "Rabbi, I need to publicly apologize to you. And I want to do it here in front of the same group because it happened here in front of everyone." I says, "What's the matter?" Just before Hanukkah, I was a little stubborn and I didn't want to take that Hanukkah kit. You were more stubborn than me, and I relented and I accepted it begrudgingly. I want to tell you what happened. A few days before Hanukkah, I get a phone call from a friend of mine, and she tells me, "Arlene, I was supposed to go to a exclusive resort with another friend. That other friend backed out. It is paid up. You have an opportunity for a fraction of the cost to join me. I don't feel like traveling alone. Would you join me?" Now that was an offer I couldn't refuse. This world-renowned resort for literally for peanuts. I wasn't going to miss an opportunity. I'm hopping along. As I make my bags, I realize, but we're going to be there for Hanukkah. And I say, "Oh, thank God, I have the Hanukkah kit that the rabbi gave me." Wonderful, I throw it into my suitcase. Off to the resort. First night of Hanukkah, I'm looking for a place where to night. But it turns out that this place is very secure. Fire and smoke alarms literally in every corner, in every room, in every lounge, everywhere, and is strictly forbidden to light a flame. Until I found the smoking lounge, and I went in there. I took my menorah, and being extremely self-conscious, a Jewish person in a non-Jewish resort, yet lighting my menorah, I put myself in a corner, I lit the menorah, and with my body I kind of covered and make sure that nobody behind me should see that I'm actually standing here in front of a menorah for 25, 30 minutes. Finally, when the candles were finished, I'm ready to leave, take my menorah, turn around. I see there's a few people behind me. And Chanukah Sameach. That was beautiful. We have a menorah. Rabbi, to make a long story short, by the end of Hanukkah, we were 150 Jewish people all enjoying this one menorah. The one small little kit has lit up the entire resort. 150 Jewish people did it.